Alright YouTube, what is going on? It is ConflctNerd Callum here today, bringing you another episode of our Transport Fever Let's Play. Today we're continuing exactly from where we left off in episode number 3, so if you commented on episode number 3, I'm basically going to be recording this series 2 episodes at a time, so unfortunately I'm not going to be able to go ahead and implement any inputs from the last episode into this episode, but we're about to buy a train at the end of the last episode, and I cruelly ended it, so we're going to go ahead and buy our first ever train to get us moving on this episode. So, during last episode we unlocked the Class A3 Flying Scotsman, which I would really like to buy, but it's just a bit too expensive. 4.16 million, it can go up to 120 kilometers an hour, which is pretty nice. However, the running costs quite a bit, and I'm not really at all sure we should go for that just yet anyway. What I think I might go for is this here, the A35, which is only 2.47 million, near enough half the cost. It's still got a top speed of 100 kilometers per hour, which is still very good, and the running cost per year is much more better. We have this option here, but in general things just get slower and slower and slower, so I think the Class A3 is going to be, or this A35, is going to be our best bet, so that's going to become our engine. Now we have not too large a choice for carriages, so we have here basically 3 we can choose from, and I'm just going to go for this one here, the Donnerbusch. That's probably not how you pronounce it, it's German I'm guessing. But this here, it can hold 17 passengers and can go at the 100 kilometers per hour. Anyway, we're going to buy these in a luscious pink, and we're going to buy, I think we're going to go for a whole 6, which is quite a lot because these carriages do cost, we'll start with 5. No, we'll go for 6. So 6 gives me, if I do my maths right, 102 passengers. Yeah, it says at the bottom there actually, so that is fine. So that train is ready to go. However, I've not actually set up a line yet, which is a bit of a problem, so we can escape out of this for now. We have a lot of demand over here for, it's actually a mixture of the Ride Connect and the Ride Sail Wembley line, which is interesting, so it's not too bad. Let's see how we're doing in Sail. Sail, we have a lot of passengers waiting here, 47, and then also here we have quite a lot of passengers waiting here, 42, so Sail's still a pretty busy place. Wembley's got a lot of people waiting for buses as well, so I can definitely see us putting more buses on that line. I think quite a few lines need more buses actually. We'll investigate that after we get this train up and moving though. So let's go ahead and build a new line, our first ever train line. So we're going to go here from Rides over to Chesham, we're going to close Uline Manager, then up to Haverhill, then all the way up to Loughton International. Well, it's not Loughton International, but cool train names I like. We actually just unlocked a new, it looks like a tram, which I need to work out where I'm going to build trams actually. I don't really know where I am going to build trams. We'll have to see about that. But that connects back up to Chesham, and that comes back into Ride, and I don't have to add Ride twice. So there we go, so that's the complete line. So the line is quite short, it's not exactly that long, and it is all good to go. So with that done, I'm just very quickly going to rename you Train Ride Loughton. I probably spelt that wrong. Yep, there should have been a capital R there. Oh well, let's go back into the train depot and let's assign you to this train line here. And let's see how you look coming out of here. The pink carriages was, I actually really like the dark green and sort of gold on the actual train itself. And then the carriages are interesting to say the least. Very interesting to say the least. I don't really mind them though, to be honest. Look interesting. I can't imagine you've got anyone on it right now because it's in its initial stage so far. So the next thing I want to do is go ahead and modify a few of my lines to go ahead and support this. So we're jumping back into here. We're going to be living in here, and I realise that I've pretty much just gone ahead and used all the loan I took out in the last episode, so we might have to let this game run for a while at some point, or just stop spending so much money. Unfortunately, some of these lines are still upgrading, which is really frustrating. But some of them are getting there very quickly, which is good to see. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn some of these off. Some of them haven't even started, but I mean, some of them I know are relatively new, so we don't need to worry about some of them. It's just some buses, for example, on this here, the Ride Sail Wembley line. I'm just going to go ahead and turn auto upgrade off, and I'm just going to get some of you buses to manually, I've got too much open right here, let's close out of that. We're just going to manually return, I think, use to the depot. Go to depot and go to depot yourself. And we can go ahead, we're going to add more buses onto lines in a second anyway, so it's totally fine. Let's return you to depot as well, and then auto update there can turn itself off. You as well, you can return to the depot. It's just some of this nitty gritty stuff, I guess, I just have to go ahead and do now. So we can go ahead and turn you off, no problemo. Fairwood's still in the process, Schniffnall's off. However, Hill is off, so I need to just allow connects in the Royston, which both of those are relatively new lines. So let's go ahead and alter, first of all here, the Ride Connect. So we're going to go ahead and add in 2 more bus stops. Basically up this end of the town, because there's not really much serving this end of the town, to be honest. So we're going to go ahead and build that there and build that there. And we're also going to add in quite a lot more buses as well onto that. So let's go ahead and jump in and find the Ride Connect. Frequency isn't good enough and it can definitely be making a lot more money, but we need to go ahead and add in some new... We need to add the new bus stops in, so we need to go ahead and add... Let me think about this. So in between 5 and... Oh, no. Ho ho. So hold up, so we've got 4, so after 4 we need to add in... This one is the new 5. This one has the new 6. That's fine, and then after 9... And in between 10, we need to add, after 9, this, and Queensway here, 11. And that goes to 4 and 12. Yup, that looks good. I need to add in a second. Oh, why is that weird? That's strange. Not really at all sure why that's doing that there, but that's added in 2 new bus stops. I think it's fine. We'll just leave it. I'm sure it'll be okay. But adding in them 2 new bus stops, really good because it means that hopefully people will get brought to the station who want to go all the way over to Loughton, so that should help the train out because the train is going to cost us quite a bit of money to start with. So we're going to go ahead and basically sell you first of all. I don't need you, stupid bus. Sell. No, not sell the depot. Did I just sell it? No. Right, select you. Yes, you. And then sell you. Why can't I sell you? Sell vehicle. There we go. It was a weird problem there. Anyway, what we're going to do is add many more Daimlers onto the Connect just because I can see people waiting at bus stops around town. So we're going to add in... I think we're just going to double the capacity. We're going to add in 8 new Daimlers, which again is costing me a lot of money, which I pretty much don't have. But let's go ahead and assign these on to the Ride Connect. So we're actually in the negative, so I'm just going to have to go ahead and borrow some more money. I don't really know how much of our loan we can... We're just spending a lot of money right now. I think we are going to have to let the game run at some point. I'll probably do that at the end of this episode. But as you can see, the Ride Sail Wembley line is doing absolutely magnificent. It's at 600,000, which is just mental. Right now, let's go ahead and see where the train's at and see how the train's doing. So that's this first, and we've already got someone waiting here, which is good to see. And I reckon this will get more use as the train goes on. So whereabouts is the train exactly right now? There's actually a lot of people here waiting at Haverhill train station, which is good. 48, which will make us quite a bit of money. Where is the train? So the train's coming back down from Loughton with 3 passengers on it, which isn't a bad amount. But for starters, it's not even gone its first full journey yet. I mean, it's gone halfway to Loughton, but it needs to return to Ryde. So that's us also hit 1929 as well. So hopefully you should pick up all these passengers because I'm assuming that you want to go to ride just because you've got a bus link to Loughton, so why would you trek all the way out here? We could actually go ahead and jump into first person as well actually, so let's see how this looks, because there is obviously the really sharp bend, so everyone here should pretty much disappear. Okay, so not everyone has disappeared, which is interesting. So we got 31 passengers, which is still a good amount, but there's also 23 waiting, and they're obviously waiting to get the train up to Loughton, and I can see why, just because there's a bit of a queue there, which is understandable. What we're going to do is we're very quickly just going to jump back into the chase camera here. So right now 73 kilometers per hour, you can see that down in the bottom right hand corner. So this bend here is quite sharp, this is the bend that I'm worried about. So we're at 83, which, or no, I don't think it is this bend, I think it's the next bend along actually. So 83, we're doing well. Ideally if we can have the train continuously going over 70, I'd be quite happy. But we want to try and get it up to 100 as much as possible, just to maximise the high speed rail line. So here it should definitely push close towards 100s. At this bend, we are actually going uphill right now, and we are getting a bit of frame drop. It's not OBS, so it is the game, which is kind of frustrating. I'm recording at 30 FPS. It's actually going around this corner here at a pretty good speed, so I'm quite happy with that. That was near enough 100 kilometers per hour, so, and I really reckon it should get a lot of speed in between here, Chesham, and also Ryde. So let's see if anyone is going to be getting off here. There are some passengers waiting. So I did actually make a bit of money there, which is good. Some passengers, and there's 23 going on now to Ryde. So that train should hustle along that line and get into here. There's 2 people waiting here at Ryde, which isn't too bad. It isn't a bad start, and over time it should get a little better. So 23 passengers, you know, I mean, it's in the initial stages, that line. If we go ahead and check the train, it's making a large loss right now, but hopefully over time it will improve. So we have a lot of people waiting at our bus terminuses in Ryde, both of them actually. Wells definitely needs new buses, so we're going to go ahead and do that. So going to go ahead and sell every single one of yous. I realise now why they weren't selling it, it's because I didn't have the buses selected. I'm going to add in 4 new buses into the Wells line, or the Willesden line. I call it Willesden. Right, so off yous go. So hopefully that should go ahead and clear this backlog of passengers. I'm just guessing the frequency on the Wells line isn't good enough. 78 seconds. It's actually making a loss, which is interesting. Maybe the buses just aren't spread out enough. Not really at all sure. We'll have to check that out. But it looks like some more automatic upgrades are done as well, which is good. So we can turn them off. And it's just the Verwood line, which, since we've made that road, that is profitable. Since we built that road in episode 3, if you haven't seen episode 3, then we built, where is it, this road here. So this is a much more direct road for the bus to go on. Basically, the bus was struggling with profitability because it's such a long way to Verwood, which is over here to the left. You have to pretty much go all the way to Royston and then come all the way along this road here to the left. We built just basically a much more direct route, and that has definitely gone ahead and saved us a bit on time, that is for sure, and it looks like it's actually sort of solved that issue with that line, which is really nice to see, and they're just a bit all upgraded. Interestingly, some buses are, you know, a wee bit all over the place. Some aren't making very much money. I mean, they're all making, as long as everything's making over 100,000, which some are, some aren't. Like the Ryde Sale Wembley line is making $1 million, and I'm pretty sure I could add more buses onto that line and it would still be effective. Train line is dropped its losses down now to 500,000, which is good to see. However, we still need to go ahead and add more buses onto the line to basically just support its well-being. So we're going to go ahead and add in another bus stop onto the Loughton Connect. I'm just trying to think where I want to have additional bus stops. So we'll add some in there and some in there, and then we'll jump in. I think the Loughton Connect will definitely need some more buses as well. 69 seconds, but obviously when you go ahead and add more bus stops, that sort of changes things. So where do I want this to go? I want it to probably go 1, 2, then up. Yeah, I think so. So after stop number 1, we want to go ahead and add in this new bus stop over here. And then we want to come down here. And then we want you to go up to 4. And then after bus stop number 8, we want you to come down here to 9. And then up there to 10, and there we go, perfect. So that's the 2 new bus stops added in. This town has grown quite a bit since we originally built the line, so I think adding the one near the train station, but also the other one as well, I think that's justified just because of the fact that the town is growing. And tell you what, I think I'm going to add on another bus stop on top of that actually. I think we could do with a bus stop definitely around about here, just to make things a little bit better, because this end of the town it could do with a wee bit better coverage. So let's go ahead, it's going to be in between 4 and 5, so after bus stop number 4, add you in there, and then in between bus stops 8 and 9, so after number 8, add you in there, and there we go, that is that sorted. So that's definitely going to need more buses now. How many? That is a good question. So the frequency is at 130 seconds, 2 minutes and 10 seconds, which isn't good enough. So we're going to go ahead and buy 6 buses, and I can remember your colour off by heart actually. So let's go ahead and add in 6 of yous. Assign you to, oh, it was the wrong colour I think actually. I think I've just assigned it this Schniffal colour. Hence why I'm not bothered too much about colours. I mean, I'm not zooming in on the buses that much, to be honest. I mean, I don't even know what colour you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be purple. You can see that's one of the new ones I think we just assigned. Or maybe not. But there's not that much change in colours, to be honest. It's not like the whole bus changes colour. It's just a wee strip on the top. So, I mean, it's not like life or death, you know what I mean? It's nice to see some people here waiting on the train. There's also some people already using the bus stop for the train, which is good to see. Some people waiting here at Haverhill as well. What I think I'm going to do is actually add on bus stops onto the Haverhill line as well, just so we can go ahead and make Haverhill get a bit more use as well. And I think we could make a connect in Haverhill. Haverhill seems a decent sized place, not gonna lie. How big is Haverhill? Haverhill's coming up for 5. You know what? We're going to go ahead and give you your own connect. You deserve it. So we're going to add you into there just so I can make a wee bit more of a loop. And that is what we're going to go ahead and do. So Haverhill, you are getting yourself your own wee loop. So the loop's going to come up that part of town. It's then going to come along to this part of town. It's then going to move round to this part of town. It's basically just going to loop around and then go back to the station. So that's that used there and that there. So let's go ahead and create the new line. So the line is going to go from... Actually, I just want it to maybe go over to the train station and stop. Or no, I should probably do a loop. I don't know. Let's just have a think. So build you there. I'm going to have to change that colour because that colour's hideous. Build you to there, build you to there, so it's 3, build you around to here, 4, 5, 6, and what happens if I'm to click on the station? Will it do it 2 ways? Or no, I know what I need to do. I need to do back out there, back to North Road there. This better sort itself out. Back to there, and then back to there. I think that's actually worked out. There's a bit of a colour clash with the 2 lines in this place, so we'll go ahead and make you a dark green. Not a pretty green, but it's a different colour, which I don't think I've used yet. I have used it on the Ride Philly line. Or no, I've not, actually not quite that shade. So there's no crossovers. That line has been built absolutely perfectly. So we need to go ahead and name you, and then get some buses on you for the Haverhill. And there's a possibility now I might go ahead and add in a connect for Chesham as well. So Haverhill connect. I really like the word connect actually. It's like connecting up the town. Even though it is, I guess, a loop or a circle, this one, I do really like the name. You don't have your own bus depot, which is totally fine. So you're going to just have to wait a wee while and get, Jesus Christ, 65 people. That is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I want to see. we're going to have to send buses down from Loughton because not much point in adding in an additional bus depot down for Haverhill. So, let me think, 10 buses. We're going to go for 10 buses, which might be too many. If there is, then we can go ahead and cut some, but I think 10 should be good to start with. That's going to cost us a lot of money again, but YOLO. Right, there we go. So that is 10 buses bought, and that's 10 buses assigned. So these are going to take quite a wee while to actually get going. 1, you'll have the initial stage, but 2, you will have to get there as well, which is a wee bit of a journey. It's not that long a journey, to be fair, but that should get things moving and hopefully people using that station a bit more, because right now it is a bit out of town. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm expecting the town to grow in this general direction and fill in this area here. However, it's going to take a while for that to happen, and the main bus station is quite a bit away as well, so I mean that might take a wee while to come into effect. There's 15 people there waiting at Chesham. Chesham, do you deserve a ride? Connect. Do you deserve a connect? Not a ride connect. Rides, the word ride is just very confusing just due to the fact that rides, like, this is what this game is about, riding transport, but one of the main towns is called Ride. I don't know if you need one right now actually. Ride itself, the town, is really busy. It's coming up on 1,000 people, which is good to see. So the train's just arrived in here. It's got 24 passengers on it. I want to see the profitability of the train. The train's making money, which is great to see. Really, really happy about that. And in general, everything's actually going really, really well. I'm really happy to see everything doing well. There's some things that could be doing a little bit better. I think I'm going to try and up the frequency on the Verwood line. The Connect's got a really high frequency of 43 seconds. I think the Chesham, to be honest, I don't really want to make you much faster. We'll try and get the frequency of a lot of this stuff down to closer to a minute. I think that's what I want. And then we can go ahead and work on stuff. I just want to see how Sale and Wembley are doing. Sale and Wembley are... Sale's a really big town. Like, Sale's a really big town. It's got a population of 500,000. So, I think it's actually bigger than Haverhill. And it doesn't have its own bus depot. So, what I'm thinking is we might go ahead and actually extend the railway to come out to Sale, because looking at it, it looks really flat land, and it really is flat land actually from Ride, so we can definitely go ahead and extend the railway out there. And Jesus, the amount of people over here at Loughton, that is near enough a full train. I'm not joking, that's near enough a full train. So a lot of people want to go to Haverhill there as well. I really reckon the Haverhill Connect is going to do great. It looks like all the buses have just turned up. I'm assuming you're Haverhill Connect, yeah, so Haverhill Connect is going to finally get some use, and I've got a feeling we might need to go ahead and add in a new train onto our line much sooner than I really thought personally we'd have to. I can't complain about that though, because I do love trains, and eventually this map's going to be train mad. Legit, like, it's going to be trains everywhere. There's going to be like 10 platform train stations. That's really the dream. I love trains, and that's one thing that actually excites me about City Skylines prop building is the trains. For some reason I just really, really badly want to build a rail yard, so that's probably going to be my next Let's Build on that game. However, that's not going to be any time soon, that is for sure. Got a lot of people waiting here. This is just to go up to Loughton. However, there's a train now which will hopefully get some use. However, if that's full and all the buses are full, we're going to have to go ahead and upgrade one. And as I said, upgrading the train I think would be the logical thing to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start adding in, I guess, some, yeah, you can see a train station is maybe just a tiny bit too short there. I'm going to go ahead and start adding in, I guess, sidings. So if I do decide to go ahead and add in an extra train, which I don't know if we'll do in this episode, then we can go ahead and pretty much implement it because we've already got sidings. So the trains can pass each other at stations, but I also want them to just pass on open track, just because there is I mean, some stations are really far apart, especially Chesham, Haverhill. Chesham Ride really isn't that much, to be honest, but the more sidings we have, it means that the more the trains are on the move, and the more the trains are on the move, the more money we make. I'm not 100% sure about signalling. I need to make sure we get that right, and I think I know that trains pass on the right of each other, and you need to do the signals at the end. Now, I can't remember the tutorial I did do the tutorial, that was about a week and a bit ago. I played it now, so I'm probably best just going ahead and playing that back actually. But we can definitely go ahead and look at that and just make sure we get signalling right. Just allow trains to pass each other successfully. Anyway, we have a lot of people waiting here. Right, Sale Wembley, guess who is getting more buses? I did say I'd go ahead and add in a Sale train station, but that's not going to happen right now, just because I might as well buy 2 trains before we do that, and I'm not going to do that in this episode. Might do that in next episode, because this episode is coming to a close. So we're going to go ahead and add in 6 new buses onto the Ride Sale Wembley line, like so. What I'm actually thinking of doing as well is adding in a new bus stop in Sale, because Sale, the town itself, has grown quite a bit since I laid out the initial 3 bus stops. It's extended pretty much in every single direction, so we can go ahead and do that. The 2 bus stops that are supporting Wembley as well, I think they're just about outgrown as well, so we can definitely go ahead and add in more buses onto this line. I want to see, over the past few years we have been making money, which is great to see, and then looking at the individual lines before we wrap up this episode, we can see here that the train is making, I actually want to go ahead and follow the train for a bit, train is making 624,000, which is wonderful. We have the Ride Sale Wembley line, which just doing absolutely amazing there. Ride Philly line is doing not bad, so is I think I might want to go ahead and add maybe 1 or 2 more buses on there, even though we've got the train on there. I think maybe adding some buses onto the Chesham line could make us some more money. The Ride Connect's actually got a lot of buses on it, and it's making a profit, especially for that lower frequency. It's really good to see. The Willows line's doing well. Verwoods, you know, those 2 lines actually could do a wee bit better. The Schniffal line is doing perfect, Royston as well, good amount of profit. The Low Connect, I mean it's a Connect, so I'm not expecting it to do amazing. The Loughton Haverhill line is doing great, and the Haverhill Connect is currently at a loss, but that doesn't bother me at all. Anyway, I want to go ahead and check the train. The train is pretty much full, so I can imagine we're going to be getting a really big payday out of this. We're going to jump back on here to end the episode, and just, well, I was about to say, see where this train takes us. I know where this train's going to take us. It's going to take us to Chesham. But I just want to see really how much money we make out of this, because we're going to make a lot of money, that's for sure. Again, the frame rate. I'm guessing the frame rate is just in the chase cam, which we're in here. Because we aren't really, the only other time we're getting a frame rate drop is when the autosave kicks in, and that's every year on the 1st of January, so, but those 2 times, sometimes when we zoom in it can be a wee bit whoa, but it's really not that bad, it's not that noticeable. But it's something that annoys me. Tell me if it does annoy you. I might just be, you know, overplaying it and it's not that bad. But here we go. It looks like a lot of people are actually wanting to go the other way, which is kind of disappointing. But that there got us 281k, however the train is still got 84 passengers on it, so I can definitely tell in the next episode we're going to be adding in a second train, because that other platform going the other way had a lot, and I mean a lot of passengers waiting at it, and that is just money which we should be gaining, but we're not, because we're not investing. So I do really need to go ahead and start paying back the loans as well. We are doing very well profitability wise. There's so many people waiting for transport over here. Like pretty much there's 74 people waiting at that train station, which is great to see. Again, see if this is this fucking Ride Sale Wembley line, it's a combination, which is good to see. It's not just solely the Ride Sale Wembley line. There is a lot of people here. So I do think we will go ahead and change some of those up for the next episode. We're just very quickly, for this last wee stretch, just going to go ahead and jump back into this train mode, and we're at 100 kilometers an hour. We've maxed out our speed, which is good to see, and we're just in our final approach here into the station. And here we go. So let's see the cash drop. 84 passengers here. What we're gonna get? 1.6 million. Fuck me backwards. Holy shit. That is a lot, and that is a figure I really do like. And then again, it's already back at 87. You can just see the amount of people that are coming out here, and the amount of people that are gonna go ahead and go on to other towns at the side. These buses are gonna have an interesting time, that's for sure. These buses are gonna be, they're all pretty full, so the Ride Connect's definitely gonna get a lot of use as well. The amount of people at this one bus stop is 60. I mean, that is just because people just came off the train, but overall, wow, doing wonderful. Really happy with that. So before we go, again, just a very quick check. As you can see, the train is at 1.6 million, which is great. Right Sail Wembley line, 1.2 million. Everything's in the positive, bar the Haverhill Connect, which I don't mind because that's supporting the railway line anyway, so we can take a little bit of a loss on there. A lot of work still to do on the passenger side. I want to just nail the passenger side before we move into goods, so goods we might not get around to till episode 7 or 8, I'm thinking. I really just want to get passengers on the move first of all, then we can go ahead and worry about some goods. We will hopefully get some goods moving in the near future. I'm not really at all sure what goods to start with. I think it's going to be foods. But have you got any suggestions for me? Because with your own experiences, what is the best good to go ahead and start with? Please tell me down below, and I'm going to do a wee bit of research into that, and also just train passings as well for the next episode. But anyway, that is all for this episode. So overall, having an absolute blast playing this game. The thing is, I really want to go ahead and record episode 5, but I can't because I need to wait for episodes 3 and 4's feedback to go ahead and implement it, because this is an interactive series, so I want to be able to implement some stuff, but I just want to continue to play this because it is just such a good game. So please leave a like rating. You got any tips, go ahead and leave them down in the comment section below. That is all for this video, so thank you very much for watching. My name is ConflctNerd Callum, and I'm out.